What does everyone think of the whole... I know it's a little bit dated, but the Carlos Maza, Steven Crowder feud. It looks like Crowder came out stronger than ever. Apparently, he got up to 85,000 subscribers to his mug club, which is up from 15,000 subscribers. So Crowder more than tripled. I think he quadrupled his subscribership. Because Carlos Maza's attempt to bring down Crowder resulted in non-conservative, more liberal YouTubers getting punished on YouTube, getting demonetized. And then Crowder is just now richer than ever. So way to go, Carlos Maza. Can't stand that guy. I don't really like either of them, to be honest. I mean, Crowder, I disagree with him a lot on politics, although I think he is funny from time to time. Like, his impressions of Jank is objectively funny. Like, his whole skit where he makes fun of... he dresses up as Jank, I think is funny. I think it was really ballsy of him to dress up as Bob Ross and do a skit where he draws Muhammad and Muhammad's 9-year-old wife, I think, or was she 12? Aisha, I think her name was. Can't remember exactly how old. Oh, by the way, they I think they consummated. But it's interesting because Crowder, I remember he said on Twitter that you know, he doesn't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. He doesn't care what your politics are. He's gonna fight for independent YouTubers, and that this whole issue is about independence and being independent. And it's like, can you really call someone independent? YouTubers independent? And I'm not saying I agree with YouTube's decisions. I actually disagree with them, which is an entirely separate issue. But it's interesting that YouTubers like to pretend to be independent because they're not in the back pockets of corporations. They're not relying on corporate media and corporations, which they are. You know, we're independent. Meanwhile, they're relying on YouTube, which is owned by a large corporation. They're relying on YouTube to not only upload and store their videos, but they're relying on YouTube to find other businesses and greedy corporations a lot of times to sponsor their content on YouTube. So YouTube is hosting their content, and they're finding businesses to sponsor their content so that these YouTubers have a source of revenue. And then they want to act like they're not in the big pockets of corporations, yet they cry the biggest friggin' river when corporate advertisers pull their advertising, like they're entitled to corporate sponsorship. Like everyone has a divine right to corporate sponsorship, much less bandwidth and storage on YouTube. So sorry, like, and this is nothing against YouTubers. Obviously, I'm a YouTuber, but you know, when you're reliant on a giant corporation who spent over $1 billion on the technology for YouTube, and they're hosting your content for free, and they're finding people to give you money by sponsoring your content, yeah, sorry, you're not as independent as you like to think. And this whole fiasco, so at first, if you recall correctly, YouTube made it seem like they weren't really going to do anything about it. They just made sure Crowder wasn't inciting harassment against Carlos Maza, which I don't think he was. And I think YouTube made the right decision then, and then the next day they decided to have another adpocalypse. You'll never get to me in time. The Earth is doomed. Well, we don't need you to destroy it. We already have climate change. Woo! Just bring more fossil fuels and Earth will destroy itself. Carlos Maza calls himself a Marxist. I don't know if he's saying that tongue-in-cheek. I don't like it when people just adopt the insults that their enemies give to them. I noticed Matt Walsh does this. Matt Walsh calls himself in his Twitter bio a theocratic fascist because that's what his detractors call him. And it's like, yeah, but Matt Walsh, you're actually kind of a theocratic fascist. They're not really that far off when you're advocating a prohibition on pornography and other stupid religious-based laws. But now he probably calls himself that. Hey, I'm a theocratic fascist. Get it, guys? I'm being ironic. No, you're being stupid. And no one should take you seriously. Oh, this guy looks like a lesbian. So anyway, Carlos Maza calls himself a Marxist, which he probably is, at least on some level. Probably at least sympathizes with them a little bit. Calls himself a Marxist, and then runs and cries to big corporations like Google when things don't go his way. And, oh, shucks. I tried to get off in time, and I couldn't. But yeah, I don't think corporations should be listening to Marxist pieces of crap like Carlos Maza when they clearly want to destroy corporations and capitalism. Any semblance of capitalism, at least. Should not appease people who want to destroy you.